have you ever spent weeks counting down the days to the holidays, imagining the warmth and the glow, only to find that when the moment finally arrives, there's a strange, quiet emptiness where the magic used to be? If you've felt that lately, if you've looked at the lights and the trees, and felt more like an observer than a participant, I want you to know that you aren't alone, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Welcome to the space where we can just sit for a while and talk about why things feel a little different now, because it's a feeling so many of us carry in silence, tucked away behind the smiles and the festive sweaters. It's often said that the holidays stay the same while we are the ones who change. And perhaps that's the most honest place to start, with the realization that the world hasn't necessarily lost its sparkle, but our relationship with it has evolved into something much more complex. This is the part many people don't talk about, the way the holidays can become a mirror, reflecting back to us all the ways our lives have shifted since we were small. When we were children, the holidays were something that happened to us. We were the guests of honor in a world built by the adults around us, shielded from the cost of the gifts, the tension in the kitchen, and the exhaustion of the planning. We didn't see the tired eyes of our parents, or the way they checked their bank balances. We only saw the magic, pure and uncomplicated. But as we grow, we move from being the guests to being the hosts, or at least the participants who see behind the curtain. And that shift in perspective changes everything. It can feel like the music is playing just a little bit further away than it used to, or like the traditions we once loved have turned into a list of tasks, to be completed rather than moments to be savored. Some people describe it as a heavy sort of nostalgia, a longing for a version of the holidays that might not have even existed, exactly as we remember it, but that feels more real than the present moment. Here's where the feeling quietly changes, though. From a simple missing of the past to a deeper realization of our own growth. As adults, we carry so much more than we did back then. We carry the weight of responsibilities, the awareness of global events, and the personal transitions that define our years. It's commonly felt that the magic was actually just the absence of worry. And now that we know how to worry, the holidays can't help but feel a little bit heavier. Many people notice that the decorations don't seem to transform the house the way they used to, or that the first snowfall feels more like a driving hazard than a miracle, and that's a completely natural part of the human experience. We are no longer the children waiting for the world to delight us. We are the ones trying to find delight in a world that can be quite difficult. This is often the point where we start to feel a sense of pressure. A pressure to recreate the feelings of our youth, as if joy is something that can be manufactured, if we just buy the right ornaments or cook the right meal. But joy isn't a product, and the harder we chase that specific brand of childhood wonder, the further away it seems to slip. People often describe the holidays as a time of forced togetherness. And for those who have experienced changes in their family dynamics, this can be particularly poignant. The chairs at the table might be the same, but the people sitting in them have changed. Or perhaps there are empty chairs that speak louder than the conversation. Loss doesn't have to be a tragedy to be felt during the holidays. It can be the simple loss of a certain era of our lives, the end of a specific tradition, or the way a group of friends has drifted apart over the years. It can feel like we are trying to fit our current larger lives into a box that was designed for a much smaller version of us. And then there is the digital world, where we are constantly met with images of perfect celebrations. The beautifully lit homes, the coordinated outfits, the tablescapes that look like they belong in a magazine. It's easy to look at those images and feel like we are failing at the holidays, like everyone else has access to a secret supply of magic that we've somehow lost. But social media is a gallery of highlights, not a reflection of the quiet, messy reality of being human. Many find that the comparison can rob them of the simple, small pleasures that are actually within reach. This is the part where the silence of the holidays can feel the loudest. When the parties are over and the house is still, that's when the not the sameness really settles in. It isn't a sign that you are ungrateful or joyless. It's actually a sign of how much you have loved and how much you have lived. To feel the absence of that old magic is to acknowledge that those moments once mattered deeply to you, and that is a beautiful thing, even if it feels a bit wistful. Some notice that the holidays have become synonymous with more spending, more eating, more social obligations. And in all that more, the why can get buried. The commercialization of the season tells us that if we aren't excited, we just haven't bought enough yet, which only adds to the sense of disconnect. But many people are finding that the quietest parts of the holidays are the ones that still hold a flicker of that old feeling. The way the light hits the floor in the late afternoon, the smell of a specific spice, or a conversation that has nothing to do with the season at all. It's often felt that we are mourning our own innocence, the time when we didn't know how complicated the world could be. Adulthood brings a clarity that is both a gift and a burden. We see the cracks in the traditions, the flaws in our loved ones, and the fleeting nature of time. This awareness can dull the bright colors of the holidays, but it also allows for a different kind of connection, one that is based on reality rather than fantasy. Instead of the high-energy magic of childhood, many people eventually discover a quieter, more grounded sense of peace. That doesn't require everything to be perfect. It's a feeling that says, things are different, and that's okay. You might find yourself missing people who are still here, but who have changed. Or you might miss the version of yourself that could get excited about a pile of boxes under a tree. This is a shared human experience, a rite of passage, that almost everyone goes through but few know how to name. Can feel like you're a ghost in your own life, walking through scenes that should feel familiar but somehow don't. But here is where the perspective can shift. What if the holidays don't feel the same because they aren't supposed to? What if the goal isn't to get back to that childhood feeling, but to allow a new feeling to emerge? A feeling that is deeper, perhaps a bit more shadowed, but also more authentic to who you are today. The holidays are a container, and as we grow, we fill that container with different things. In childhood, it was filled with wonder and surprise. In adulthood, it might be filled with reflection, resilience, and a quiet appreciation for the people who walk through the messiness of life with us. It's commonly felt that we are supposed to be on during the holidays, performing a version of happiness that fits the scenery. But there is so much power in simply being as you are. If you are tired, let the holidays be a time of rest. If you are reflective, let them be a time of quiet. There is no right way to feel during this time of year, and your worth is not measured by your level of festive spirit. Some notice that the most meaningful moments happen when they stop trying to make them happen. When the tradition fails and everyone ends up laughing in the kitchen, or when a quiet walk in the cold feels more Christmassy than any party ever could. This is the part many people don't talk about, that the magic hasn't disappeared, it's just changed its shape. It's no longer a bright, flashing neon sign. It's more like the low glow of a candle that only becomes visible when the other lights are turned off. It's found in the small acts of kindness that don't get posted online, in the way we hold space for each other's changes, and in the resilience it takes to keep showing up even when things feel heavy. While the magic may feel quieter now, it hasn't disappeared. It has simply become different, more subtle, and in many ways more precious because it's earned. It's the magic of knowing that things change, that people grow, and that even when the holidays don't feel the same, they still hold the potential for connection and peace in their own quiet way. You are not broken for feeling this way. You are simply paying attention to the passage of time and the depth of your own heart. As the season continues, I hope you can be gentle with yourself, allowing whatever feelings come up to just be there without judgment. You don't have to fix the holidays, and you don't have to fix yourself. Maybe this year the same isn't the goal. Maybe honest is enough. Thank you for spending this time with me and for allowing yourself to sit with these reflections. If this reflection resonated with you, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for being here.